Hello, everybody. Welcome to the I Am IT Geek YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz Dan. As ever, I am the IT Geek. So this is a new video series around Azure VMware solution. So I've been kind of looking into this for a while, and I've wanted to talk about this topic for a long time, and I just wasn't sure how to approach it. And especially after the success of the Azure Virtual Desktop Zero to Hero, I wanted to do something similar. Now, unfortunately, I don't really know this solution very well, so I'm not able to be the hero in this case. So I'm putting a bit of a twist on it. Now, my background actually before I go into cloud was all on premises and a lot of VMware. So as far as VMware goes, I know it's a product, but I just don't know how it looks within the Azure infrastructure. So I have brought in a guest who's going to be our hero for this series, and she is somebody I've looked up to for a very long time. She's a Microsoft Cloud advocate, so it's my pleasure to introduce for this series, Shannon Kuehn. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good, good. I'm glad this worked out.
Me as well. Honestly, I can't explain how excited I am about, well, first of all, about learning about, Azure VMware solution. VMware, like most people, I think before cloud, there was only on-premises. I think
Correct. I think that's where we all sort of cut our proverbial teeth, right?
Exactly.
A lot of virtualization. I think most companies ran vSphere on premises.
100%.
I can't think of anybody. Well, I think there are customers I have seen since I've moved into more of a consulting role and then on into Microsoft who have used Hyper-V, but I think the overwhelming majority has always been VMware on premises.
Yeah, I mean, I historically sort of cut my teeth in the small to medium business area. So a lot of those did use RDS just because of Hyper-V, just because it was essentially came free with the Windows license.
Right.
But again, for those enterprise levels, yeah, we did a lot of VMware. So I was super psyched when I saw, oh, wow, they're partnering with Azure and it's going to be in Azure. But I just don't know anything about it, if I'm honest with you, apart from the stuff I've read on social media and some of the Microsoft documents. So I was really eager to do something on it and learn it. And who better to learn from than you, the Microsoft advocate who specializes in this.
Thank you. Yeah, and I've enjoyed your series, right? I feel like I understand things so much better now with AVD. And I always want to say WVD, but it's AVD. We always like to keep us on our toes, right?
Well, that's really funny. So not the Microsoft documentation, but when you go into the Azure portal, there are certain elements that still say Windows Virtual
Really?
Desktop. Yeah.
Sounds very like true to form. There's still sometimes you'll see OMS referenced too, so it's kind of hidden. You have to see it, go into some of the portal and more of the granular areas. So, but I'm excited to be a part of this. I think this is going to be a great video series. I think folks will feel more comfortable with the solution. Hopefully, even they might feel like they could position it within their company as well.
And that's the sort of outcome I'd love from this, from my perspective, for me to be able to do that as well. And so I'm obviously, for those who know me, I know I work for a company called Netcompany, and they're already having customers approaching them. Well, do you guys know anything about Azure VMware solution? And I said to them, well, I will in about 6-7 weeks, I will do. So this is more of for those people watching, this is more of an introduction to the series. So what I'll quickly do is I'm just going to share my presentation. So just to quickly go through it, really, it's just an introduction. So obviously this is episode 1, Zero to Hero, Azure VMware Solution. It's myself, Shabazz Dar. I'm a Microsoft MVP in Enterprise Mobility. And I've got kind of my specialities, obviously, as you might know, Azure Virtual Desktop and Endpoint Manager. Shannon, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Shannon Kuehn. I'm a senior cloud advocate at Microsoft. I've been full-time Azure since 2016, and I've worn a lot of different caps. So I've done the architect work. I've done the core enablement. I've even had to pretend I know networking better than I ever did before. So when everything's software defined, I don't know if you're feeling this way. You're wearing a lot of different caps, trying to get somebody comfortable with what digital transformation looks like. So spend a lot of time in the compute land, Azure Site Recovery, Azure VMware Solution, obviously, monitoring, networking, compute, and storage. So just some of the areas I've spent a lot of time on, and you know me, I'm always noodling on something, right? I'm not just doing full-time Azure VMware Solution. I think it's mostly full-time, but then I'm always finding time to learn something brand new just to stay relevant, right?
And exactly. And what's interesting about some of those topics you've just mentioned there, a lot of them we're probably going to be touching on in this series, like monitoring and compute and all that sort of stuff. So that kind of moves me on nicely to my next slide, really. So just to explain to our viewers again, what we're going to be covering in this series. So this is obviously the first episode. Quick introduction. I want to introduce myself and Shannon and what we're going to be talking about. But in our next episode, we're just actually going to look into what is AVS, and hopefully Shannon's going to be able to explain to me what it actually is. I know it's VMware solution in Azure, but where does it fit in the sort of in that sort of Azure infrastructure and that Azure ecosystem? And then hopefully we're going to look at more of a planning. So, okay, we know what AVS is now. What's next? How do we plan for it? And we've got some, got some interesting things to talk about there, I'm sure. And the part I always look forward to is getting my hands dirty. So I'm really looking forward to Shannon showing me the deployment of VMware solutions. So now, one thing Shannon did, so I'm not going to give it away, but the deployment, I believe, is quite a long deployment, isn't it, Shannon?
It is. So I have since recorded a demo, and that demo, I won't keep you on the hook because I think it's a 3.5, 4 hour deployment because it's doing all this automation in the background. So the video is much shorter, and I think you'll still get the same feel for what it's like. It's like a lot of the more infrastructure heavy deployments. It's the hurry up and wait solution. So
yeah. But nobody likes to wait 4 hours to see that bar going across.
That'd be a pretty boring 4 hours, right?
And essentially, I think the whole point is as long as we get across, the steps you need to take and what's involved. That's the main point of showing you. I don't want to wait. No one wants to watch a 4 hour episode of me on screen. So I think that video is going to be amazing.
Cool.
And then once we've done that sort of deployment, well, then obviously you can't just deploy something and leave it. You've got to think about watering and feeding it, monitoring, alerting. So that's what we're going to be looking at in episode 5. And again, quite an important topic because, it's a huge infrastructure at the end of the day, VMware within Azure. So we need to understand how we can monitor it and alert on it. And we're going to finish off with a bit of integration and backups because, again, I know in my sort of history when I've been doing projects, sometimes, unfortunately, in my earlier days, backups were more of an afterthought rather than, thinking about it at the time. So we're going to do a little bit about backups and the certain vendors that integrate with it. I think that might be another quick demo that we might, Shannon may be able to do. So again, honestly, I'm really looking forward to what we've got in store. VMware in general, like I said, is quite close to my heart from my younger days. So really looking forward to it, Shannon.
And I'm looking forward to going through that with you.
Thank you very much. So this is a short and sweet episode. Like I said, we just wanted to introduce a bit of a kind of curtain, raising the curtain on what we plan on doing over the next six episodes. So thank you for your time, Shannon. And we'll see everybody next week when we start going on about what is AVS.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And up until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.